you ever tried painting birds with watercolors, but something felt like it was off? Like the feathers were overworked, there was not enough contrast, or there were too many hard edges? Today, I will be teaching you how to create smooth layers and a nice contrast using only one color. The reason this class focuses only on using one color is because you can better concentrate on color values, contrast, and then the balance between light and shadows. The key in creating a good contrast is knowing where to place the shadows, right? But also how to balance it out with the light so you don't lose the light. So what will help is using that one color and determine first what are the values of that one color. And what makes it easier with watercolors is that all we need is to add water to that one color. I will teach you how to create a good contrast in your painting, how to discover the color values of that color that you'll be using, or any color, how to layer feathers wet on wet without overworking the areas. So where you don't need to focus on every single hair or every single feather, and how to capture the overall look of your object. The best timing to lift colors is when the papers start to lose that shine. So at first the paper is shiny wet, you see all the colors, right? But then that shine goes away, and that's when you want to kind of start lifting. But the best timing is actually when the paper feels damp. And I'll make close-ups and all that. And I just pull it. I pull the brush. Rigger brush is my favorite to lift with, which is why I created this brush overall. But it's just you pulling, and it's like you're pressing and you're pulling it up. And you want to do it with the tip of your brush, but sometimes I use the full head of the brush too. Wiping it again, or dipping it in water. Dipping it in water first, wiping it on a towel next, and then lift colors. I pre-wetted some parts of the background because that gives me more time to apply colors wet on wet. Now, the most important thing to mention is like I have a hard edge here, right? So I only wetted the background here, but here I also wetted the birds, so some colors would bleed toward the feathers. I did the same thing here. So here I stayed on the outside of the beak, but here I went over the bird. So you can decide which areas like feathers you want to keep soft, or if you just want to have full control 100%, you just don't wet the bird, but only wet the background, and then just apply colors toward the background, only wet on wet. If you do want the soft edge, I'm going to show you actually in this video. So what you would do is wet the background, but then you're gonna, let's say, wet this area too. But then when you apply colors toward the background, you want to stay away from the bird. I'd say like this much. So basically, like if you see the line here, that's the bird, you would apply colors up to here, but heavy cream or even cream top-like ratio, and you would wait until the paint settles. Or I'm sorry, the water gets absorbed deeper into the paper, so the paper feels almost like damp, and that's when you would add the color here, because otherwise too much paint will bleed toward the bird. But you know what, it's easier to explain while I'm demonstrating than when you just see this. So the first thing, please have your colors ready to go. Actually, it's just one color, right? So indigo. So let's dilute some of the indigo with water. There's my indigo. Actually, I want more of the indigo. That's not enough. And I do want this to be heavy cream top like ratio between water and paint. I don't want the paint to feel like water like ratio or something like that. That's way too diluted paint with water. So again, this is a thicker paint now, and that's what you want on your palette. Okay, I'm just gonna clean the brush because I don't need this. Next step is to wet the background. I'm just gonna use this flat brush, Da Vinci's Casanel, because that's the whitest, well, kind of not the whitest one I have, but it's a soft brush. And when you wet now, you don't need to wet like 10 times or anything like that, or going over it multiple times, because it's basically, we're not gonna spend that much time painting the background. It's just so you have some water in the background, and that's just to give you more time to apply colors before there's some blooms. Because if one area of the paper dries faster, then super easy to create a bloom. So here I'm just gonna wet the background first, and then I'm gonna show you in what areas I'm also wetting the bird. But here I gotta be careful because I don't want to go over the beak. I do want that hard edge here, and I do want hard edges here where we have the fur, and I'm gonna go in with a brush to make it easier later. So I'm not going super close yet toward the bird. And then let's see, the reference shows like this kind of, but this will be the area where we'll go in a little bit, not as much probably as in my test piece, although the test piece, why the too much paint bled toward the bird is my fault, 100%. I just added the color in this area too fast, so the color started bleeding too fast. So you have to wait until the paper feels like it's about to lose that shine, I want to say, because that right now when you wet it, the paper is nice and shiny wet, right? And that shine slowly starts to go away. When that shine starts to go away, actually that's perfect timing to lift colors, as a matter of fact. But that's when you want to get closer. Here, so this is going to be area where I do want some of that bird to be wetted too. But for now, I'm going to go one more time. Now, if you want flat paper, add some water on the bottom there so the paper sticks. I'm going to do it one more time. I just want some water there so it's flat. Otherwise, it's buckling too much, and I don't want that. As a matter of fact, you can also wet the backside. So I'm doing this to flatten my paper. So it's nice and flat, so it's easy to add that background. So now it's flatter than before, and that's what I want. I'm gonna go one more time over here. Oops, I just scratched the paper a little bit. I don't like that. This happens every time with this brush. It's because it has like this metal part. It's the hair, the fibers are thinner than this part, and I have this problem every time, and I want to like remind myself, but then I forget, and I see this scratch here. It's okay, you see it too. It's like I love the brush, but gosh, every time I just have the same problem over and over, just scratching my paper. Anyway, I'm just gonna wet a little bit here because you can see those scratches for sure. It's like a dent on the paper. Okay, I've wetted enough, so now I'm going to show you. I'm going to go inside the bird here because that's the area where I want the paint, or I want to have a soft edge. That's what I want. So softer edge right here, and then the same thing here. So not everywhere. Now when you go over the painted areas, you have to be very gentle, and you need to use a softer brush so you don't like reactivate the colors. So very gently, very softly with a softer brush only. And you go over. And I don't want this part here. Again, it's buckling. So again, if it buckles, just wet the back side. Make sure it all stays nice and flat. So the paint doesn't flow in a weird way. I should have just done this from the beginning, but I didn't think it was going to be that buckling as much. All right, I'm ready to start applying colors. So what I'm going to do is grab my flat 24 songbird, and then I'll work with my quill as well, my long quill size 4. So I actually want a thicker paint, like a heavy cream-like ratio between water and paint. I do like how dark the background is. Now this is a little too thick because you also want some flow. So I'm not looking for chunks at this moment of paint. I don't want like I do want like heavy cream. It's just that if I just go with like a cream top, it's a little too much. I do want the paint to still spread. Now here I have to be super focused because this is my beak, right? But now you can see what a beautiful contrast, right? Because we kept the beak on top lighter, and we can see that pretty contrast right away. Now I also have these feathers there, and I'll get to that in a second. First, actually, I'm gonna just add color here, and I'm following with my eyes, like, okay, the beak is like this, and then it kind of cuts through like this. And I'm not gonna go here yet. That's because the color would just bleed too much toward my bird. I'll push it through here, Now what I can also do, what would help, is just get rid of some of that water now from the board or the sheet, because that can come back toward my paper and create bloom. So just a little bit, it's basically the outside water. What I want to do is grab my long cool size 4, so long cool size 4, and I'm going to grab the same paint, so heavy cream. And this is where you begin shaping the hair. So you go and you want to have a fine point, okay? That's important too. You can actually switch between brushes, and you can see that that's my masking fluid, right? So that's my masking, and I'll keep going and just watching, like looking at the reference constantly and like looking at the hair and just figuring this out, like how I want that. And following, of course, the sketch. So I have a nice shape of the bird. More of that heavy cream-like ratio. And just keep moving. So you see I stopped right there, but so I can use my softer, pointier brush so I can shape the hair. And of course I need thicker paint here too. So this will give you the most contrast, where you have like the white feathers of the bird. And you just keep moving. And then up to like here, because then I'm going to be very close to the area where I also wetted the bird, which actually does feel like it's damp already. But then I want to come back here, and you can see the scratch right there. My goodness, it's just so annoying because it happens every time. Like, I can't tell you how many scratches I have on papers just because of that. Like, I love the brush and I use it because it's a softer brush, but every time I scratch the paper. Anyway, so this is the area that's, again, I wetted the bird as well. Now, before I go here again, I'm just gonna go back here to make this a little more even. I do need a little more water because the paint on my palette feels too thick. And then just to fill the background again. Now, sometimes it does feel like we need to add second layer toward the background, and just if you do, that's fine. You would, but here's the thing about adding second layer, because I should say that about indigo. Indigo, it's a stainy color. The problem with adding second layer is you would literally reactivate everything you added here. So it's actually, I actually don't recommend it because it's not a light background. It's indigo, and with indigo again, it's just too lifty, like the color just lifts too much. So now I'm going to squeeze more indigo because I just ran out. And I'm gonna get closer toward the feathers over here, the areas where I also wetted the bird. So I am in a hurry a little bit. This is heavy cream, actually cream top, more like a cream top. And you can see the paint is not really spreading as much. So use like a creamy paint at this point and get closer, just feel it out. So as you see, the paint is not moving as much. The key is to wait. So you wait to add this paint a little later. Now I made a mistake here. I went too close. This was the area. So I'm just gonna have to lift a little bit. But here I'm okay. So as you see, this cut through a little bit. So yes, I do have to. I'll take care of that in a second by lifting. I didn't want to lift, but now I'll have to lift because otherwise it kind of looks weird. And then grabbing more of this creamy paint. So this is my indigo, just creamy color. And then this is still wet. So I'm just gonna go through with this creamy paint very gently, very gently. Just, it doesn't have to be like, you know, perfectly covered and stuff like that. Just so it makes kind of sense that if it's darker here, then I will add a little more color, that indigo. But here I'm gonna have a soft edge, right? And another thing you can do is use a damp brush. So first of all, before I show you, I have to clean this brush.